October 14, 2024, 2:17 a.m., Arlington, Virginia. Rainwater slid slowly across the empty streets surrounding the Pentagon, while a single office light remained visible inside a federal building less than 2 miles away from CIA headquarters. Deep within a secured cyber operations center, intelligence analysts monitored encrypted traffic moving between anonymous servers in St. Petersburg, Frankfurt, and Northern Virginia. What initially appeared to be routine network noise suddenly triggered an internal security protocol after a classified algorithm detected patterns previously associated with Russian GRU cyber units. Within minutes, the system identified digital fingerprints connected to operations dating back to the 2016 United States presidential election. But this time, the data revealed something far more disturbing. The operation was still active. It had never ended. For more than a decade, intelligence officials inside Washington privately feared that modern warfare had already changed forever. No missiles, no tanks crossing borders, no formal declarations of war. Instead, invisible psychological operations quietly traveled through smartphones, television broadcasts, manipulated news articles, bot farms, and social media algorithms designed to fracture entire populations from within. According to former NATO cyber defense assessments, the battlefield had moved directly into the minds of civilians. Elections across Europe began showing strange digital interference patterns. Public outrage appeared suddenly and spread unnaturally fast. Fringe political movements gained massive momentum overnight. Intelligence agencies from Germany, France, the United Kingdom, and the United States increasingly believed these events were not isolated political accidents, but fragments of a coordinated geopolitical strategy tied to Moscow. At the center of the investigation sat a little-known former CIA cyber analyst named Daniel Mercer. Internal records described Mercer as brilliant, obsessive, and increasingly paranoid during his final years inside the agency. Former colleagues later claimed he spent months mapping connections between Russian disinformation campaigns, offshore political consulting firms, cryptocurrency transfers, and anonymous social media networks operating across Europe. Mercer allegedly discovered that multiple influence campaigns targeting democratic elections shared identical behavioral signatures traced back to infrastructure connected with the Russian GRU. But according to classified testimony leaked years later, Mercer also believed the operation was succeeding because powerful individuals inside Western institutions quietly benefited from the chaos. By early 2017, American intelligence agencies publicly concluded that Russia had interfered in the presidential election that brought Donald Trump into the White House. The announcement triggered political shockwaves across Washington. Television networks exploded into non-stop coverage. Congressional investigations intensified. Former FBI Director James Comey became one of the most controversial figures in modern American politics. Behind closed doors, however, intelligence officials feared the public narrative barely scratched the surface of what was actually occurring. Analysts reportedly uncovered evidence suggesting that the objective was never simply electing one political candidate over another. The deeper goal appeared to be the long-term destabilization of trust itself: public trust in elections, trust in journalism, trust in governments, trust in reality. Thousands of miles away inside Moscow, Russian President Vladimir Putin publicly dismissed allegations of interference while simultaneously expanding Russia's cyber warfare capabilities. Former Western intelligence officers later described the Kremlin's strategy as a modern adaptation of Cold War psychological operations, redesigned for the algorithm-driven age of social media. Instead of spreading a single ideology, the operation amplified division from every possible direction at once. Far-left outrage, far-right extremism, anti-government conspiracies, racial tensions, economic panic. Every fracture inside democratic societies became a weapon. Intelligence assessments circulating inside NATO warned that the objective was societal exhaustion, a condition where populations became so overwhelmed by conflicting information that objective truth itself began collapsing. In London, investigative journalist Eleanor Hayes spent nearly 4 years following financial trails connected to obscure political organizations operating across Britain and Eastern Europe. Leaked banking documents revealed millions of dollars moving through shell corporations registered in Cyprus, Luxembourg, and the British Virgin Islands. Several transactions appeared linked to consulting networks advising populist political campaigns during Brexit and multiple European elections. Hayes gradually discovered that many of these organizations shared digital infrastructure previously flagged by American cyber intelligence teams. As her investigation expanded, anonymous threats reportedly began appearing in encrypted emails sent late at night from untraceable servers. Surveillance cameras near her London apartment malfunctioned repeatedly under unexplained circumstances. Former British intelligence officials privately warned her that foreign operatives may already be monitoring her communications. Meanwhile, inside Brussels, European Union cyber defense agencies observed increasingly coordinated disinformation attacks targeting NATO leadership, refugee policies, and military aid packages connected to Ukraine. Analysts documented how fabricated news stories could spread across multiple countries within hours, amplified by artificial engagement networks designed to manipulate public perception. The speed of the operation stunned investigators. False narratives no longer required credibility. They only required emotional impact powerful enough to trigger mass reaction before fact-checkers could respond. By the time corrections emerged, the damage had already embedded itself into public consciousness. In Washington, CIA Director William Burns reportedly received classified briefings warning that hostile influence operations were evolving faster than Western democracies could defend against them. Intelligence communities faced a terrifying possibility. Future wars might no longer depend on destroying infrastructure, but on systematically destabilizing social cohesion itself. Former national security officials later described the situation as an undeclared world war fought entirely through perception, manipulation, and engineered distrust. By 2022, after Russia invaded Ukraine, cyber operations escalated dramatically across Europe and North America. Government agencies detected waves of coordinated propaganda campaigns attempting to weaken public support for sanctions, NATO expansion, and military assistance to Kyiv. As global tensions intensified, Daniel Mercer disappeared. According to internal records later referenced by investigative reporters, Mercer left his Virginia apartment on February 3, 2023, shortly before midnight. Security cameras captured him entering a black SUV near Reagan National Airport. He was never officially seen again. No verified body, no confirmed arrest, no public statement from intelligence agencies. Yet months after his disappearance, encrypted files began appearing online through anonymous message boards frequented by cybersecurity researchers. The files allegedly contained fragments of classified operational data linking political consulting firms, artificial intelligence-driven propaganda systems, and covert cyber units operating across multiple countries simultaneously. The leaked material ignited panic inside intelligence communities already struggling to contain escalating geopolitical instability. Some officials feared Mercer had defected, others believed he had been eliminated. Conspiracy theories exploded across the internet. Former intelligence officers appeared on television, warning that Western democracies were entering a new era of invisible warfare, unlike anything previously witnessed in modern history. The frightening reality was not simply that foreign governments could manipulate information online. It was that ordinary citizens often could no longer distinguish authentic reality from engineered perception. Every headline became suspect. Every viral video became questionable. every political scandal carried the possibility of unseen manipulation operating beneath the surface. By 2025, the geopolitical consequences had become impossible to ignore. Election security agencies across Europe expanded emergency cyber defense programs. NATO dramatically increased intelligence coordination surrounding disinformation operations. Artificial intelligence accelerated the crisis even further, allowing fabricated videos, cloned voices, and synthetic media campaigns to spread faster than human verification systems could respond. Former CIA and MI6 officials privately warned that the next global conflict may already be underway, not through conventional military invasion, but through the silent collapse of shared truth itself. And somewhere buried beneath classified archives, encrypted servers, and missing intelligence files, the shadow network continued operating in darkness, unseen by most of the world, but quietly reshaping it in real time.